Hey guys, Bowman's Homestead. Today we're going to replace a shock on a front shock on a 2003 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD. I just got done with the other one. I thought I'd record the passenger side. Driver's side's already done, and I think you guys should be able to see right here we got the new shock in. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side on camera and show you guys how to replace a shock. And right here's the old shock on the passenger side. I'm not going to take the tire off. I'm just going to jack it up a little bit so I have a little more room to get under there, and we'll get started. Alright, so I got it jacked up, put a jack stand under it just in case your jack happens to fail. But now we're under it. This bolt right here will have to come out. You guys can't see that. Over here, right there. So we'll go ahead and start taking it apart. Alright, so we got to take these. There's two nuts here from the factory. When you get the new one, there'll only be one nut. It's a lock nut. But we got to take these two off. And it's a 15 millimeter. I'm using a 9/16 because I don't have a 15 millimeter ratchet wrench that works. And I may have to end up spraying it with some WD-40, but get all that grease off there.
Right there by the...
And if you guys can see, the whole shock is spinning. So I'm going to spray it with some PB blast, like some lubricant, WD-40, PB blaster, or whatever you got. Then I'll take a crescent wrench, and the top of this should be squared. You can take a crescent wrench and hold on to it. Well, alright, well, the crescent wrench I had is too big and it wasn't wanting to get on here, but this should be squared, and you can get a little piece of, a little crescent wrench and get on it. In this case, I'm using a big pair of channel locks, and I'm just going to grab a hold of this shock to keep it from moving. And don't drop them. I think I've dropped them about 10 times now. Huh? When? Just a minute ago? And we had to quit work early today. The Dish Network guys here to give us a new upgraded receiver, and I think they're changing out the dish head and everything. So that's off. Now we need to get under the truck, take out one bolt loose. So we're going to take this nut off right here, and we'll have to hold the other side. I believe it's a 21 millimeter. Alright, so now we got to get this nut off. It is a 21 millimeter, and then on the other side I'm going to use a crescent wrench to hold the nut. It just makes it easier with a crescent wrench instead of going to get 5 more tools. So if you can see, we'll get on the back side here and hold the nut on the back with the crescent. Let me pause this and I'll be right back. Alright, so I got that crescent wrench on here. Now I just need to take the nut off and that whole shock will come off. I'm going to see if I can do this with one hand, but I don't think I can. Nope. Alright, I couldn't do all that with one hand, but I got the nut off. Now, we'll have to drive that bolt out of there. And guys, do not hit this without putting something on it. I put the nut back on it, and then we'll hit it to loosen it up, and it should come right out. But if you hit it and hit them threads, damage them threads on that bolt, you'll be in trouble. You have to get a new bolt. Alright. Alright, I got that knocked through there. And then a lot of times you can just use your hand and loosen the rest of the way. Pull it through. May have to pry that shock up a little bit. It's hard to do this with one hand. I'm trying. Alright, so we got that one off. We had to kind of finagle it a little bit. But there's the old one. There's the new one. And then we'll just repeat or reverse the process.
And there's all the little parts you get with it.
Yeah. Okay, let me see this. Good? Mm-hmm. Alright guys, so we got these washers, they're coned. You want the cone side to go down and then put on your bushing and slide it back up in there. We're going to slide this back up into our hole here. Pause it. Jeez. So there's too much tension on that jack stand. We're going to jack it back up and let this wheel fall down just a little bit. Hopefully.
Is that good?
Yeah. And we'll push this one maybe back up in there. Alright, so we got that slid in there. I'm going to get a little punch or screwdriver and line that hole up, because you can see ain't no bolt going through there. So I'll just take this little screwdriver or punch and line it up where it needs to be. And then we'll get our bolt put back through there and get it tight, and then we'll show you guys how to put the top back on. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and tighten this back up. Get my crescent wrench over here, and then go ahead and tighten this side. That's tight. Now let's go up to the top and put the nut on. Alright, so now we'll put our bushing on, then our washer on top of it, and as you can see, there's nowhere to put the nut on it. So what we're going to do, we got a jack stand underneath the control arm, so we'll just let that jack down a little bit and it'll poke the stud out enough we can get a nut on it. Let's make sure that jack stands under there.
It is.
Alright, go ahead and let it down. Now you guys will be able to see the stud coming through. Okay, that's good. That.
This one?
The 9/16. Is it there? Oh, right here.
That's not it.
Now we'll go ahead and tighten that nut. No, it's a 17 or 19 on the new one. 19 millimeter. Go ahead and let that jack down a little more.
What's your hands?
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead. All right. And you're done.